What if the truth Menglong tried to hide was captured in his very last moments? Unthinkable. Menglong's last video exposed, company confirms shocking truth. The footage is said to be terrifying. The kind that changes everything we thought we knew about his mysterious death. Stay with Red Carpet Revealed as we dive into the shocking details, right here, right now. The press hall was suffocating with tension. Hundreds of journalists sat crammed shoulder to shoulder. Cameras aimed at the stage. Livestream feeds flashing red as millions around the world waited for something unimaginable. Menglong had been gone for months. His death surrounded by speculation and grief. But today, his company, long accused of silence and complicity, announced that it would reveal new and final evidence. The air was electric, vibrating with the knowledge that history might be rewritten in real time. When the lights dimmed, a large screen flickered to life. For a heartbeat, there was only static. Then, in grainy resolution, a familiar face emerged. It was Menglong. His hair was disheveled, his eyes hollow, and his voice barely a whisper. The whole gasped as the man who had once charmed millions now appeared frail. Terrified, yet determined. His lips trembled before forming words that seemed to echo across the decades of his life. If you are seeing this, then something has already happened to me. Shock rippled through the audience. Reporters instinctively leaned forward. Pens frozen above paper. Their eyes locked on the screen. Continued. His voice strained. I did not want to leave this world with lies. There are things you need to know. About me. About them. Why I could never be free. The screen flickered again. His face darkened by shadows. But his words remained clear, slicing through silence like a blade. Gasps and murmurs erupted in the room. Social media feeds exploded worldwide. Hashtags like final video and shocking truth surged within minutes. Millions scrambling to watch clips leaked from the live broadcast. Fans collapsed into tears. Their idol now speaking from beyond the grave. Not as a star but as a man cornered by forces unseen. The company spokesperson, standing rigid beside the screen, urged silence as the footage continued. Yu's breathing was ragged. He looked around nervously, as though fearing someone would burst through the door at any moment. Then came the chilling words, they told me to stay quiet. They warned me what would happen if I spoke. But I cannot carry this anymore. The video cut abruptly, replaced by black. Gasps turned to cries of outrage. Reporters shouted over one another, demanding answers. The spokesperson raised shaking hands. More context soon. But the hall was already in chaos. Viewers online demanded the uncut version. Who were they? Became the question echoing from Beijing to New York. From Seoul to London. In the days that followed, every frame of the leaked video was dissected. Analysts enhanced the grainy footage, trying to identify objects in the background. Was he in a hotel room? A private apartment? Some claimed they saw a shadow moving behind him. Proof that he was not alone. Audio engineers slowed the recording, detecting faint noises, footsteps, perhaps, or the hum of machinery. To fans and skeptics alike, each detail felt like a clue in a murder mystery too dark to ignore. But the greatest question remained, why had the company hidden this video until now? Executives claimed Yu himself had recorded it and instructed it be released only if something happened. Yet suspicions grew. If that were true, why delay its release for months? Why now, when public pressure for answers was at its peak? Some believed the company had been forced to reveal it after insiders threatened leaks. Others suspected the video was cut, edited to remove Yu's most damning words. Meanwhile, Yu's family responded with anguish and fury. His mother, tears streaming down her face, told reporters outside her home, I begged them to tell the truth from the beginning. My son's voice was all we had left, and they kept it from us. His sister demanded an investigation into why the video was incomplete. Her voice trembling with rage, he was trying to warn us. He was trying to name them. Won't they let us hear his full truth? The public's demand for transparency grew deafening. Protesters gathered outside the company headquarters, holding signs with Yu's face and the words released the full video. Online petitions collected millions of signatures in days. International media outlets joined the chorus, why the most important evidence of Yu's final days had been selectively shown. Rumors swirled about what was missing. Some claimed the uncut footage included Yu naming individuals, powerful elites tied to shadowy financial operations. Others whispered of references to child secret long buried. whether true or not. Speculation itself was enough to send tremors through an already fragile industry. As days turned into weeks, clips became cultural lightning rods. Universities hosted forums dissecting the socio-political implications of a dead star. Speaking of suppression, psychologists analyzed his trembling body language, at the posture of a man under unbearable threat. Theologists compared it to historic whistleblowers silenced for revealing uncomfortable truths. Menglong had transformed, in death, from idol to martyr. Yet with his transformation came new dangers. Journalists pursuing the story reported intimidation. Investigative reporter described being followed home, or had their laptop stolen in a break-in. Online accounts critical of the company were mysteriously deleted. But the backlash only fueled the fire. As one viral post declared, "If you try to erase him, we'll shout louder. His voice is ours now." The video itself became an icon of resistance. Murals of Yu's image, frail, haunted, broken, appeared in cities worldwide. Fans tattooed his final words on their skin. Musicians sampled his trembling voice into protest songs. Final video was no longer just evidence, it was a movement. But beneath the passion lay terror. What if Yu had died because of the truths in that video? What if his death was not sudden, not accidental, but orchestrated by those he dared to defy? Each unanswered question only deepened the mystery. And then came the leak. An anonymous source uploaded a longer cut of the video to underground forums. This version ran almost 4 minutes longer. In it, Yu looked directly at the camera and whispered, "They are powerful. They are untouchable. But they cannot hide forever." His lips formed the beginning of a name, before the screen went black. The uproar was immediate. If the leak was authentic, the company had indeed censored Yu's final warning. Is the name he tried to say? Why was it silenced? Theories multiplied. Some claimed he meant to accuse executives. Others argued he was pointing toward criminal networks known for infiltrating entertainment. A few believed the unfinished word connected to earlier rumors of a hidden child. The truth remained elusive. But the implications were undeniable. Menglong's death was no longer just a tragedy. It was a riddle that threatened to expose secrets far greater than any one man. By the end of, the world was no closer to closure. Instead, the last video had ripped open new wounds, haunting silences, and revealed a voice that would not be contained. And the question remained, burning into every mind, what truth was Menglong killed for trying to reveal? The leak of the longer version of Menglong's final video set off an earthquake that reverberated across the globe. No longer was this just a question of grief or celebrity scandal. This was about truth suppressed. About a voice from beyond the grave naming forces that preferred to remain invisible. The whispers had become roars. And the world demanded answers. Protests erupted outside Yu's former agency headquarters. Not just in Beijing but in Seoul, Tokyo, even Los Angeles. Fans gathered by the thousands, holding candles and banners emblazoned with his trembling image from the video. The chants were unified, "Release the full truth," and "Who killed Yu?" In some cities, the vigils grew so large they blocked traffic. Sheer numbers making it impossible for authorities to dismiss the movement as just hysteria. International media joined the hunt. CNN, BBC, NHK, and Al Jazeera devoted entire segments to Menglong's mysterious last message. Analysts debated who the unfinished name pointed to. Some suggested it was a corporate executive long tied to opaque financial dealings. Others speculated it hinted at criminal organizations rumored to have infiltrated the entertainment industry. The more the theories spread, the more impossible it became for anyone to silence them. The company at the center of the storm scrambled for control. Executives issued statements calling the leaked footage incomplete and misleading, insisting the only legitimate version was the one shown at their press conference. But this backfired. If anything, while deepened public suspicion. Why cut the video at all? Demanded one commentator. Trust the truth. Let the man speak in full. Under immense pressure, company relented. 1 month after the initial press event, they released what they claimed was the complete and unaltered recording. It was longer still than the leaked version, running nearly 10 minutes. In it, Yu appeared exhausted, breaking, but his resolve unshaken. He spoke of fear, of threats. A system designed to keep people like him silent. He gave them everything, he whispered. My face, my songs, my soul. But when I refused to give them this secret, they turned on me. The most shocking moment came near the end. And close to the camera, his voice trembling but audible, "There is a child. My child. They wanted to erase him. I could not let that happen. If you hear nothing else, hear this: protect him. Protect the truth." Then, his lips began to form a name, but the video cut out with a sharp static burst, leaving the world in silence once again. The impact was explosive. Not only had Yu admitted to fathering a child in secret, but he had directly linked the child to the forces that destroyed him. Overnight, hashtags surged: "You secret child, protect the child. Truth for you." For many, the history of his death had just deepened beyond imagination. Fans worldwide treated his words as sacred text. "Protect the child" appeared on murals, graffiti, posters, and social media bios. Street artists painted Yu's final gaze across city walls. In Times Square, activists projected the words onto skyscrapers in blazing white letters: "Protect him. Protect the truth." The entertainment industry collapsed into turmoil. Entire productions were halted. Advertising deals shredded. Executives forced into hiding. Politicians connected to the companies implicated found themselves facing investigations. International watchdogs announced probes into suspected money laundering networks linked to Yu's final testimony. His death, once treated as a private tragedy, was now a global scandal. For Yu's family, the revelations were unbearable yet galvanizing. His mother wept openly when she watched the uncut video, pushing her chest as if to keep her heart from breaking. But afterward, she stood before cameras, her voice trembling yet steady: "They killed my son because he spoke the truth. His truth is now the world's. We will protect his child. And we will not stop until his killers are named." How ignited a firestorm of support. Donations poured in from fans around the world to fund legal battles. Independent journalists banded together to verify Yu's claims, uncovering links between his agency and shadowy firms spanning Hong Kong, Singapore, and the Caribbean. Discovery pointed to deeper corruption, and each attempt to bury the story only amplified it further. But with exposure came danger. Activists reported being followed. Journalists investigating the story faced threats, hacking, and harassment. One whistleblower disappeared days before scheduled testimony. The message was chilling: the same forces you warned about were still watching, still willing to silence. Yet, the movement refused to die. His final video, his trembling words, his plea for protection, these became immortalized. Legacy beyond fame. To fans, Yu Menglong was no longer just an idol. He was a martyr who died not for scandal, but for refusing to let innocence be erased. As the months passed, his story took on mythic proportions. Students studied it in universities. Protesters chanted his name alongside slogans for freedom. His face appeared on murals from Beijing to Berlin. And through it all, one question lingered in every mind: who is the child you tried so desperately to protect? And where were they now? The world leaned forward, desperate for answers. And the final, haunting truth was this: Yu Menglong may have been silenced, but his voice, captured forever in that last video, unleashed a storm that could never again be contained. Red carpet revealed. We believe Yu Menglong's story is not just about a video or a scandal. It's about the cost of truth, the fragility of innocence, and the power of one voice to outlast silence. His final message was more than a confession, it was a plea, a legacy, and a warning. They tried to erase him. They failed. His voice lives on. Red carpet revealed.